Hey everybody, it's low carb keto friendly nutritionist Amy Berger from 2itnutrition.com bringing you another video in doing keto without the crazy. Before I get into today's topic, which is supplements, let me remind you I have a new ebook out. It's called The Stall Slayer, and it's about breaking fat loss stalls on low carb or ketogenic diets, which is the #1 reason people write to me for help. Help, why am I not losing weight? What am I doing wrong? You can check it out down below. I'll have a link. You can find it at stallslayer.com. Right now, it is just an ebook for now. It's a PDF, so you can buy it and read it electronically, or if you prefer a hard copy like I do, you can just print it out. There's two versions to buy. There's one that's a little more printer friendly and one that's better to read online. You can read all about that at stallslayer.com. Okay, next item of business, supplements. This is a viewer request. Remember, I take requests. You can send me an email at 2itnutrition@gmail.com. I do take requests. To whoever asked me to do this topic, you wrote to me months ago. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it. Now, I have a lot to say. I'll try not to have this video go forever and ever, but let's see what happens. No notes, so this is totally off the cuff. Hopefully, it's not too big of a train wreck. Okay. First, do you need to take supplements? No, most people don't. They're not required. If you have a known, absolutely confirmed deficiency or insufficiency in something, maybe you do need to take a certain vitamin or mineral that for whatever reason you are not getting from your diet or not absorbing from your diet. For the most part, people don't need supplements. Your diet should be doing the heavy lifting in terms of delivering nutrients to your body. Supplements are exactly that. They are supplemental to the nutrients you are getting from your food. Now, so where should I even start here? Why would anyone take supplements? You'll hear all sorts of things, all they do is create expensive urine, you're just wasting your money, they come from XYZ country where they could be adulterated with things that you don't want in them, what the label says is in the bottle is not necessarily what's really in the bottle, there's all sorts of controversial stuff. So why would anyone want to even bother with this stuff? Well, I guess before I even answer that question and move on to other questions, I should be upfront with you. I do take supplements. I'm going to share with you some of what I take and why. So I do take supplements, and I write. The vast majority of my regular income comes as a freelance writer, and much of that writing income comes from a practitioner, professional only supplement manufacturer. And when I say professional only, it means you have to be a doctor or nutritionist or something, a nurse practitioner or something along that line to have an account with this company. And clients or patients purchase them through you. You can't get it at the corner drugstore. You can't get it at Walgreens. You can find this particular brand online. The company that I work for is one of several that are practitioner only that are similar. You have to get it through a doctor or a nutritionist or something. Most of them you can find online. Okay. So with that being said, that I do take supplements, do I think people can benefit from them? Yeah, I do. And part of it comes from my own experience. Part of it also comes from in the course of the writing I do for this company, I have to read a lot of the scientific literature. I have to go to the medical journals and the scientific journals. Okay, they did a randomized clinical trial of X nutrient for X condition. What happened? Oh, look, it actually worked. So I do think that in certain circumstances, supplementation can be beneficial. Because here's the thing. When taken at a certain dose, vitamins, minerals, or what we might call phytochemicals, things like resveratrol or curcumin or EGCG, the green from green tea extract, When taken at certain doses, these compounds can have what we call a pharmacological effect. In other words, they're almost like medicine. They have a pharmacological, a biochemical effect. They are not medicine, and I'm not a doctor, right? Little caveat, I'm just a nutritionist. None of this is medical advice, and none of this is even personalized supplemental nutrition advice for you. This is just information. We know that various nutrients can have this sort of pharmacological therapeutic effect. If any of you have heard of Linus Pauling, a 2-time Nobel Prize winner. I think he won it for medicine, and I think he won a Nobel Peace Prize. Don't quote me on that though. Linus Pauling is the guy that gave people like mega doses of intravenous vitamin C, and he had all kinds of fabulous results in helping people heal from various conditions. So when I read some of these studies, because if I write, let's say the company I work for is coming out with a new product, they have to have a technical specification sheet to give to the doctors and the other professionals that have accounts with the company to say, here's why we chose these particular vitamins and minerals or nutrients, and here's why we have them in this dose or in this particular form. Like, for example, vitamin B6, you can have it as pyridoxine HCl. It can be pyridoxal 5-phosphate, pyridoxamine. Various nutrients come in all kinds of different forms. Some are better for certain situations than others. And so I do a lot of the writing of those technical specification sheets. So I have to research because I have to cite studies to back this stuff up. So I do find that there are plenty of studies showing various things being helpful for various conditions. Does that mean every supplement is magical for everything out there, or that you can improve your health solely through supplements? No. I say again, your diet should be doing the heavy lifting, or your lifestyle diet, whether you consider your lifestyle exercise, sleep, stress management, getting fresh air, getting sunlight, what have you. That should be doing the heavy lifting. Again, the supplements are supplemental to that. Now, when you are sick, you could take a medicine to make you feel better, right? Whether it's a pain reliever or an antibiotic or some type of actual medication. And then once you're better, you stop the medication. And I think we can think of supplements the same way. You might be going through something particular where a certain compound could be beneficial for you during that time. And once that time is over, you don't need it anymore. For example, just as one example, people that are recovering from a trauma or burns, especially burns or any kind of very severe injury, your body has a greater need for things like the amino acid glutamine, for wound healing, for skin to repair all these proteins that have become so damaged, right? So you might choose, and that's just one example, but you might choose to take supplemental glutamine for some period of time while you're healing. And once you're done and feeling great, okay, I don't think I need the glutamine anymore. So I do think with a lot of supplements, there's what we call a, not an acute dose, I'm trying to think of the word, like a therapeutic dose, that you might take a high dose for some relatively short period of time, and then over the longer term, titrate down, you reduce, and either stop taking it entirely or go down to what we call a maintenance dose, which is a much lower dose that you might take every day or a couple of times a week for the long term. And so, as one example for myself, I donate blood regularly. I give to the Red Cross. You know, it's one of the few things I do that I feel like genuinely really helps people. And I have been rejected 2 or 3 times in the past for low hemoglobin. And I'm like, low hemoglobin? Like, it's not like I avoid red meat. Like, there's no discernible reason why I should have low iron or low hemoglobin. You know, they do a finger prick before they take your blood so they can make sure if you are suitable to give blood. And it turned out like, hello, sometimes I just don't think of the obvious. Each time that happened, I was on the tail end of my period. So I had just lost a little bit of blood. So, okay, it makes a little more sense for me to have low hemoglobin. So what I've started doing now is during my period, I take iron. No big deal. I don't take it every day. I don't feel the need to take it every day. I don't really have any signs or symptoms of anemia. But when I know I'm losing blood, maybe I should take a little bit of iron. So that's, again, one example. Let's see what else I can say. You know, there's different stages in life, or even just different circumstances. If you are going through an extremely stressful time, emotional stress, psychological stress, there are, supplements that can help you kind of remain calm, help you have a more resilient sort of reaction to what's going on around you. And any of these supplements, it's not like they're a slam dunk for everybody, right? It's not like I can say, well, we know that B6 helps with neurotransmitter production like serotonin and dopamine. Therefore, everyone who takes B6 is going to feel happier and more content because of serotonin and dopamine. No, it doesn't work that way. It does tend to be where if you are actually deficient, or what we call a subclinical insufficiency, meaning your blood test doesn't actually show that you're in like a severe crisis with this nutrient, but maybe you're kind of in that gray zone where if your level was a little higher, you'd feel better. The effects of supplements do seem to be better in the people that need them. Like if you are actually deficient in something, of course you're going to feel better when you start to get more of it. So let's see what else I can say. I think that's why in some of these studies we don't always see necessarily a benefit. Not everybody benefits equally. And, I think, like I said, there's a therapeutic dose and a maintenance dose. So some studies, I like when studies will have, different cohorts of subjects, and one subject, let's say it's whatever nutrient is, they gave these people 200 milligrams for 12 weeks. The other group, they gave 400 milligrams for 12 weeks. Another group, they gave 800 milligrams, whatever it is. And then they can determine, we noticed people at the 200 milligram dose really didn't have any difference in outcome. People at the 400, we saw some people getting better in whatever thing they were trying to affect. Could be blood pressure, could be blood sugar, whatever. So let's see. I'm going to show you some. Now, please know that I am not pushing supplements on you. I said at the beginning, are you required to take supplements? No. But somebody asked me to do this. If you are curious about the stuff I take myself and the brands that I use myself or have used in the past and felt good about using, that's what I'm sharing with you. It's for your information. You don't have to buy anything. However, I am going to link below. I do have an affiliate code for this company that I write for. If you are interested in buying their supplements, check out the affiliate code, throw a couple cents my way if you find my videos helpful, or you can just find them online and not give me any. Don't use my affiliate. I don't care. I'm here to share information, okay? Now that we're clear about that, I know I'm still going to get downvotes and I'm still going to get negative comments. Oh, you're pushing, you're shilling, snake oil saleswoman. I hope I have made that clear that that's not what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so why don't I start off with some regular companies whose products I trust and I've used in the past that you can find at your health food store, sometimes at a regular kind of grocery store, depending on how well stocked they are. There's a brand called Now, N-O-W. I like them a lot. There's a brand called Jarrow, J-A-R-R-O-W. And of course, this is specific to the US. If you're watching my videos from overseas, I don't know what's available in your nation. I'm sorry. So I like Jarrow. I like Now. GNC actually has some pretty good stuff. There was a multivitamin years and years ago. I took GNC's Women's Ultra Mega. It's just kind of a comprehensive vitamin mineral formula. I seem to do very well with that. So the main reason I use the stuff from the company that I write for is, number one, I trust the stuff because I've read the research, because I know that this company sticks by the science. Their motto is science first. They're not going to bullcrap people. When they find out that there's a more effective form of something, they change their line. When they find out something is maybe not as effective as we thought and we should substitute something else, they change the product. They are constantly updating stuff. And so I believe that this company has a huge amount of integrity. And I have actually visited their office. I visited the laboratory where they test every batch of every product. Not every single bottle. I mean, the bottles are sealed, right? But at least every batch of every product that is made goes through this lab for testing to make sure there's none of those adulterants, and to make sure that if it says there's 50 milligrams of B6, there's actually 50 milligrams of B6. If it says there's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, there's actually 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. So I know that when I take the stuff from this company, I'm getting what I think I'm getting. Now, the other reason, I'm not going to lie to you, one of the perks of my writing work for this company is that they give me a supplement allowance every month. This stuff is not cheap, and it's not cheap because it is such high quality, and because it's to almost like a medical grade standard of purity and potency. So I will be 100% upright with you here, or forthcoming, or forthright, whatever the right word is. I probably would not use this stuff or use as much of it if I was paying out of pocket because it's pricey. I might use some of it and then use other comparable products from a line that's a little more, reasonably priced. Okay, that being said, what do I take? The company is called Designs for Health. It's designsforhealth.com, but I'll put the link to my affiliate store. They have pretty much everything under the sun. B vitamins, vitamin C, they have liquids, they have collagen powder, they have protein bars, they have all kinds of vitamin and mineral and different blends and formulas and all sorts of stuff. And I'm just going to show you a sampling just to show you some stuff that has worked for me. I don't take all of this every day. It's just that this stuff has been effective for me. So a lot of people on keto take magnesium. This is magnesium buffered chelate. I know the video's blurry, you can't see it, but there's a magnesium that I have started to take this daily. I do find it helps me have a little bit more regularity with the good old BMs, because I tend toward constipation. It's much, much better now than it's been in the past, but I find the magnesium just helps things along even more. A lot of people prefer a magnesium powder, especially if your problem is constipation, so that they have a magnesium citrate powder. If you have trouble sleeping, they have something called Insomnitol. This is a chewable. They have a capsule, but this is a chewable. It's like a tab. You can suck on it or you can chew it. It's like a lemony flavor, but it has melatonin. It has 5-HTP, it has inositol, it has L-theanine and B6, all of these things that help promote sleep. And I have found that helps. Once in a blue moon, I have really bad insomnia, and I take that and it tends to help me fall asleep. I love chromium. They have something called Chromium Synergy. Chromium is very good for blood sugar. Now, again, if you're on a ketogenic diet, do you need more chromium? Because you're not really eating a whole lot of glucose anyway. Your blood sugar isn't spiking all the time. Do you need chromium? Probably not. I take it sometimes as just a little insurance policy because I like it. And this Chromium Synergy product is not just chromium. It has vanadium, it has taurine, it has a little bit of zinc, manganese. So, and there's reasons for all of those things. Some of these things work synergistically. Some of these things just have other roles in helping blood sugar. Vanadium is also kind of good for blood sugar. So this is just, again, just a sampling of the wide range of stuff they have. They have something called Tri-K, and again, I know it's a shame you can't see it on the video, but this is their sort of comprehensive vitamin K product. You know there's vitamin K1, that's what's found in leafy greens and broccoli and kale and spinach and all that. And then there's vitamin K2, which is mostly found in animal products, specifically fatty animal products. It's in egg yolks, it's in butter, it's in the fat of animals. Liver, I think, has a lot of K2, if I remember right. So things like pate, liverwurst has a lot of K2, things that are made from liver and other organ meats. Fermented vegetables, if I remember correctly, fermented vegetables like a sauerkraut or a kimchi will have some K2, because even though it's normally like an animal form, I guess the bacterial fermentation is maybe like a more animalistic thing. So anyway, Tri-K provides K1 and K2, and it's a pretty high dose of K2. It's hard to find. This is over 1,000 micrograms of K2 per one capsule. It's pretty hard to find that amount of K2 in a supplement. Something else that has helped me extraordinarily is, well, the two products, one is called Pharma-GABA. I don't, can the video pick it up? Pharma-GABA, G-A-B-A, gamma aminobutyric acid. And there's another product called liposomal neurocalm. Liposomal is just, it's a liquid form. It comes in a pump. It's liposomes. It's hard to explain. It's just much more readily absorbed, much more easily absorbed into the body. Now, Pharma-GABA has one ingredient, except for the fillers and stuff, because it is a chewable. It's kind of like the Insomnitol, the ones for sleep. This is a chewable just chewable. It's GABA, and GABA is the body's most calming neurotransmitter, where if you hear about excitatory neurotransmitters like glutamate is like, you may have heard there's a book called Excitotoxins. He talks about a lot about glutamate. There's certain neurotransmitters that like, make things fire, and then there's neurotransmitters that help calm things down. GABA helps calm things down. And so the liposomal neurocalm, the liquid pump, has GABA, and it also has a little bit of L-theanine, which is also a compound that kind of helps calm. L-theanine is green tea has a lot of L-theanine, and it doesn't make you sleepy like GABA and L-theanine. They don't relax you like, oh, now I'm sleeping. It's like a mental mind relaxation and a calm where you can focus. If you've got the monkey mind, you know, that monkey is like swinging from branch to branch to branch. Oh, look at that. And especially if it's like in a negative kind of fearful way. I don't really have anxiety. I struggle with depression, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I don't really know what true anxiety is like, except every few months I have a day or a moment where for some reason I just feel overwhelmed by nothing in particular, just jumpy and agitated and like scared, and there's nothing specific that I can identify. I just feel this like, ugh, like it's very hard to describe. That's probably what anxiety is, and my heart goes out to those of you who might be living with that daily, because I don't know what that's like. But this stuff, the Pharma-GABA and the liposomal neurocalm, when I take these, when I'm having one of those moments, it is darn near magical how quickly I calm down. And the reason I take this stuff is usually because I have to get work done. And if I need to, my work, you know, is very cerebral. I'm sitting in a chair in front of the computer writing, I'm reading the studies. I can't be agitated and having my mind go to all these other things. I need to sit down and focus. And this stuff, within, I would say, 15 or 20 minutes, it's like somebody's put out the fire, and now I can do my work. It's really, it's extraordinary. So those are just dynamite in my book. And I didn't forget about the depression. I'll talk about that in a minute. Something that I use from time to time, I've been taking this more lately just to kind of experiment. So one of the benefits also of me having this little supplement allowance is that because it's free to me, I can get whatever I want and experiment. If I take something for a while and I don't like it or I don't think it does any, guess what? I never buy it again and I didn't lose any money on it. Carnaclear. It's carnitine. It's a very highly saturated L-carnitine, and it also has kind of a high dose of vitamin B5, aka pantothenic acid. So L-carnitine, this is a pretty huge dose. 1 teaspoon, it's a liquid. 1 teaspoon of this stuff is 2.5 grams of L-carnitine. That's a high amount of L-carnitine. And again, do you need extra carnitine on a ketogenic diet? No. Could it maybe help? Yeah. Especially if you happen to be a vegetarian or a vegan following a ketogenic diet, you might need some supplemental carnitine. Because what is carnitine? Carne, it comes from meat. I mean, that's the origin of the word carnitine is because this amino acid was discovered in animal flesh products. Carnitine. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not absent in plant foods altogether, but it's much, much more abundant in animal foods. And the human body makes carnitine. It's not this is not an essential amino acid. It's like a modified amino acid, and your body synthesizes carnitine. But again, just like when I mentioned earlier, if you are recovering from a trauma or an injury or something, or a burn, especially a severe burn, your body, or going through a very stressful period, what have you, different circumstances may increase your body's need for nutrients above what you normally get from your diet. So let's say normally your diet covers all your bases and you're fine, but now you were in a car accident, you have a massive injury to heal from, or you've lost a loved one and you're going through a lot of grief and there's a lot of stress and uncertainty. Different stages of life, different circumstances might increase your need for certain things beyond what you would normally get from your diet. So carnitine, what the heck do we need carnitine for anyway? Well, it does a lot of things, but in the context of a low carb or ketogenic diet, one of the most important things it does is it helps certain fats literally get into the mitochondria, which is where fats are burned and we make ATP. If you want to lose weight, if you want to lose body fat, if you want to have good energy, if you want to be a fat burner, you better have enough carnitine. They call it the carnitine shuttle. Literally, carnitine is like with the fat, and it like is an escort that brings it into the mitochondria. So again, do you need supplemental carnitine? Probably not. Could you mess around with it, experiment for a month and see if it does anything for you? Yeah. Do you need it? No. Do you need any of this? No. So what else? Just real quick, I said I deal with depression. I will probably do a whole separate video on that at some point. I do take a pharmaceutical medication for depression, and I do find it helps me. Thank goodness I am able to use the one that is the least likely to cause weight gain. A lot of antidepressant medications have weight gain as a side effect, so I have not found that to be true with this one. I'm very grateful for that. And I'm on kind of a medium dose. I'm not on the lowest dose. I'm not near the highest dose. And I do find it has helped significantly. So again, my heart goes out to the people that if you have depression and you're on a medication and it's not helping, work with your doctor to get a different medication or a different dose, because the one I'm on, I do find is helping noticeably. Beyond the antidepressant, one of the benefits of the research that I have to do in reading all of these studies in the course of my writing work is that I learn a lot of things I would not have otherwise learned, or I come across a lot of information I would not have otherwise come across. And I even learn about things that I would not have chosen to research on my own. Like I wouldn't have looked up X, Y, and Z vitamins and minerals just for fun, but because it's my job to do it. And then I read, oh, wow, what a fascinating fact that is. I mean, to my own personal benefit, I've benefited from things I learned just in serendipity in writing about a particular product or a particular compound. I would see one or two sentences like, whoa, what? I never knew that. And it would have a beneficial impact in my own life. And so I was reading about folate, and there's some pretty good research showing that a lot of people with depression, and I have kind of like unipolar, just sort of low grade, it's almost more dysthymia. If you've ever heard that word, D-Y-S-T-H-Y-M-I-A, dysthymia. Dysthymia is not as severe as like clinical depression. Like depression, you can't get out of bed, you can't get dressed, you don't even want to shower. Dysthymia is less severe, but more long term. You could have dysthymia for years. It's just kind of meh, this is my life. Like I'm not impaired. I can put clothes on, I can hold down a job, I can go take care of my errands. So anyway, I don't really have clinical depression, although maybe I do if I'm taking an antidepressant. But my point is, I read some studies on folate that indicated that people with depression who were already on an antidepressant, if they added folate supplementation, they did better. They got noticeably better. And so, no skin off my back. Hey, let me mess around with some folate. People, I have felt so much better. So much better. And I won't tell you the dose I'm taking because the dosing is all very individual. That's actually part of why they have these practitioner and professional only lines, because for the most part, I think messing around with vitamins and minerals is fairly safe, but not always. If you are on certain medications, you have to be careful. There are certain vitamins and minerals, again, these phytochemicals or these other compounds that can interact with medications and either interact negatively and give you like a bad, dangerous outcome, or interact positively, synergistically, and maybe now it's too powerful and you're like essentially over medicated because the combination of the supplement with the medicine is doing whatever, making your blood sugar too low, making your blood pressure too low. I mean, that would be rare, but that's just kind of an example. So I don't think you kind of want to just take anything willy-nilly in any dose. Like a practitioner, a professional can help you identify the things that might be helpful and the dose. And they can look at the medications you're on and say, oh, you know what? You're on such and such drug. Vitamin B12 is contraindicated or whatever, curcumin is contraindicated. Oh, you're pregnant. These 10 nutrients are contraindicated, whatever it may be. So I won't tell you the dose of any of this stuff I take, but I've been taking the folate for several weeks now, and it is a substantially noticeable difference for the better in my mood. So I'll keep taking it, and with any of the stuff that I take, and again, what I showed you, I don't take all of this. I don't take it all daily. I take it as some of it's just as needed. Some of you might be on prescription medications where it's not once daily or 2 or 3 times daily. It's PRN, which I think means as needed. You just take it when you think you need it. So what I generally do is if I take something that I find is helping, I keep taking it, and if my situation changes or all of a sudden I don't feel well, whether it's physically or mentally or emotionally, I re-examine, I change things up. So let's see, we're over half an hour now. I don't want to make this too much longer. That's my thoughts on supplements. Again, in case the trolls and the haters didn't hear me the first 3 times, do you need any supplements? Probably not. Do you need to buy them from my affiliate link? No. Go to the store, get whatever you want, but be safe about it. If you are taking medications, look, do some internet sleuthing or call your doctor, even better, and ask if certain things should not be taken when you're taking certain medications. Let's see, what else can I say? I don't know. I mean, above the, beyond the issue where you might be going through a particular circumstance that increases your need for certain select compounds above what you normally get from your diet, there are legitimate genetic differences in people and, certain conditions that affect absorption. For example, like vitamin B12 is such a great example because you need really good stomach acid and you need something called intrinsic factor that is also produced inside the stomach. You need this stuff to absorb B12. And some people just chronically produce low stomach acid. They don't have enough stomach acid. So you can kind of have a mass action effect by taking more B12. You're going to absorb proportionally more of it, presumably. Some people need injections of B12 if you're really severely deficient. Let's see, certain other, if you have like celiac disease or Crohn's disease or some other issue that affects nutrient absorption in the small intestine, they call it malabsorption. You might need more nutrients or more highly concentrated nutrients or nutrients in more absorbable forms because you're getting rid of more of it than the average person that doesn't have a malabsorption syndrome, right? They say you are what you eat. No, you are what you eat and digest well and absorb. If you're eating a whole bunch of stuff and it's just passing right through you, you are not getting the nutrients that are in those foods, right? So I certainly do think supplements can be helpful. Required, no. Helpful for some people in some circumstances, yes. And it's funny because when sometimes I get clients that in my client intake paperwork, there's a space to put any medications you're taking and what they're for and any supplements. And I tell people, don't, are you taking anything? Don't forget about supplements. Don't forget about antacids. Don't forget about aspirin. Whatever you're taking, put it on there. And some people will attach an extra sheet of paper because they're taking so many things. I mean, I've had 20, 30 things daily. And I'm able to be like, X this one, X, like to just be like, these are probably not helping you. And a lot of this, like, I'm constantly asking, do you think these are helping? Why are you taking it? Well, Dr. So-and-so told me, or well, I bought the so-and-so protocol. And a lot of people are taking a lot of things and they don't really know why. They feel safer taking them. Okay, great. But you could be wasting a lot of money. I think, what was I saying? So the most important question I can ask somebody is, do you think these are helping? Well, I'm taking this for inflammation. Are you still in pain? Is your skin all still red? Do you still have signs and symptoms of inflammation? Yes. Okay, well then it's not working for you. Stop taking it, or take a higher dose, or take something else. It's don't take stuff just to take stuff. If you feel like there's probably a shortfall in your diet, give your diet a good hard look. If you think there might be a shortfall, try something. But again, be safe. If you're on various medications, you want to make sure that what you take is safe to be taken with whatever else you're already taking. And some of this stuff is not magic. Like I said, with the folate, kind of magical. The GABA, kind of magical. But some things might take a few weeks to have an effect. Or some things, even with a company like Designs for Health, their dosing recommendation and like recommended use, chew 2 tablets per day or as directed by your healthcare practitioner. The or as directed by your healthcare practitioner is pretty important because most companies tend to be very conservative with their dosing. They might say that the dose is 1 teaspoon a day or 2 tablets a day. When the person, the professional working with you knows, well, listen, I know the bottle says 1 teaspoon, you're going to need at least 3 teaspoons a day. Or I know the bottle says take 1 pill a day, you're going to need 4. Whatever it is, let somebody with a little more experience and a little more knowledge guide you, because maybe it is wasting money if you're just buying whatever or taking it in whatever dose, when to have it more targeted to your specific situation, and a specific dose targeted for you would get you the result you're looking for. So yeah, I guess that's it. And it's why I don't really make any blanket recommendations. I don't have any, I don't sell a protocol. I don't sell a program that comes with a bundle of like these 4 supplements or these 6 things, because I don't know. I don't know what anyone needs or how much of it they need or for how long until I work with them and I read their paperwork and I find out a lot more about their situation. So, I try to be very careful about that. I think supplements can be very helpful, but they can be expensive urine if you don't know what you're doing. So I guess that's maybe it for now. Yeah. If you're interested in personalized help, my website is 2atnutrition.com. There's a tab that says work with me, and you can book a consultation. We can just do a regular normal consultation, and that would include supplement recommendations if warranted. They're not always. I actually rarely push supplements on people, or if someone's already taking things that I think are fine, I say keep taking them, no problem. If you would like, again, those personalized recommendations, consider booking a consultation. Don't forget about my brand new ebook, The Stall Slayer, stallslayer.com. And that's it for now. I've had a request to do some viewer requests to do videos on specific things. Like someone has asked for something on berberine, which is Designs for Health has a berberine product. So I'll do those, maybe kind of scattered here and there in between regular videos that are not as specific. But, if there's a specific nutrient you're wondering about, then we can do maybe a couple of little deep dives on various, whether it's a vitamin or a mineral or some kind of other nutraceutical compound like berberine or EGCG or whatever, olive leaf extract. I just had to write about that. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you and yours are staying safe. I hope you are, let's see, if you have to go out, if you have to be at work, I hope you're protecting yourself in whatever way you can. Plenty of videos online right now about how to make homemade masks out of t-shirts, out of old bandanas. You don't have to go buy anything expensive. It doesn't have to be medical grade if you just want a little more protection than having nothing on your face. And that is it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.